Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are here with week 11 of the NPL. Our current record is 7-3, I think, and we are facing Trevor, aka T Daddy, as he goes by on the show right now, um, formerly known as Sheer Force, and his Long Island Golducks. He's actually the leader in our division at 8-2 right now. But as we are 7-3, we can still catch him, which could be very important for the playoff seeding. Excuse me, I got a nasty flu and I probably sound like shit. So um, it's a pretty important game, but not like too important because I need to beat him and then win in like week 12, and I have to make up for a bunch of differential points to get the number one seed in the conference. But it's still possible, and if we get it, would avoid a pretty annoying matchup versus Adam and his uh, Houston Soul Rockets in the first round of the playoffs. And like, I would like to have the first seed in the conference just for an like easier path to the finals, but I also can't reveal any spreads for a potential playoff meeting with Trevor, which seems likely should I make it out of round one, because Trevor is probably not losing in round one of the playoffs either. So had to build a team that can can win with a solid differential, and I had to build a team that like doesn't show off any of my really good sets versus him. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting game, and I decided to like bring a hyper offense basically with a explosion, dual hazard lead fortress, and then like trick room Uniclus, life of Grand, DD's art, Scarf Soul Kiss, and Taylor Manaphy. All pretty standard sets. Manaphy, Soul Kiss, and Zard, all 252, 252 spreads, and then like standard speed creeping with Greninja, and obviously max HP, max special attack reunion as well. Um, that being said, I still think that if I play my cards correctly and prevent like um, some of his setup sweepers in form of Dragonite or Terrakion from going out of hand, I still can get a 4-0 win, potential a 3-0 win with this team. Because looking at his team, his Greninja answers are non-existent. Once I get chip on the Swampert and the potential Scarf Terrakion, I can easily 6-0 with it. I need rocks up for to put Virizion in Gangshot range. I need rocks up to put a max HP Gardevoir in Gangshot range, I think. Maybe I even kill it without rocks up, I'm not sure. I obviously need rocks up to kill Dragonite with Ice Beam, and I need to get chip on Swampert to kill with Hydro Pump. But besides that, like everything is um, easily knocked out, and unless he's a default Dragonite, I'm guaranteed to keep my rocks up to put everything in range and then go from there. Um, Besides that, like obviously Reuniclus can put in quite some work if I like keep it healthy and set up trick rooms versus some stuff I can't set up on, for example, a Choice Lock Terrakion or a Virizion, or even a Swampert, which always gives me a free recover basically if it's a physically defensive variant, which I expect it to be. Um, Obviously, Togekiss can be a solid win con once I get rid of his potential Scarfer, because then I can just spam Air Slash and flinch stuff to death. So I'm pretty confident in my chances, and like we will try to play it aggressively so that we can't like we can, so that we can get a nice differential going our way with a potential win. So I lead off with my Fortress here. See this with Verizon. He could be a taunt set again, which he brought versus us in week 2 when we played. Um, but I still decide to just go for my Stealth Rock here, as he reveals the hidden power, but he also reveals to be a jolly set by the looks of it, because hidden power would have done a little bit more if he was invested, or at least like a native nature or something. I go for the custom explosion because I feel like getting chip on Virizion or any switch in, for example, the Swampert, is way more important than the T spikes, because like um, Ursaring's getting toxic anyway. Um, Dragonite can't get T spiked, and like the explosion gets the necessary damage off versus Swampert, Virizion, and Terrakion anyway that I need, so I don't really need the toxic spikes to wear down his mons at all. So this thing comes in, I go to my Reuniclus and set up a trick room here. I kind of wanted to double out into my Greninja to catch whatever he wants to switch in, for example, Gardevoir, but I figured like trick room is my safest bet. He reveals to be a bulky bulky lefties D9, and he actually has the D4, which is kind of unfortunate because now I still need the necessary chip on Virizion to knock it out with the gang shot. I 2 KO here the Dragon Knight with the Psychic, and then he goes into his God of War, on which I can just fire off a Thunder, which as you see is a 2-hit KO. He fires off a Hyper Voice, and 1 turn of Trick Room is left. I considered going for Recover here, as he reveals the Protect, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. It doesn't matter too much because I could switch in my Togekiss on the next Hyper Voice and keep Reuniclus healthy to potentially recover up on Swampert or Virizion, for example, or Terrakion that is locked into close combat. But he gets rid of the Trick Room, which is good for him. But I can go into my Togekiss and lift the head, and then go for the Air Slash as he goes for the Protect. He probably knows that I'm scarfed by the damage output that he did, and by me going hard into it. But I will go for the flinch. It's a 60% chance in my favor. I get the flinch, and now I get a kill basically with the Togekiss. He goes for Protect again to get rid of 1 PP of Air Slash, but that doesn't matter. I'm like not missing or anything. I can go into that thing. Terrakion comes in, and he will probably go for the close combat, but he actually goes for the Stone Edge, which is like had he missed it, would have been very good for me, but doesn't really matter. I go to my Grano, I click Water Shuriken in case he wants to stay in, even though like I know that the Stone Edge doesn't kill. He goes into his Ursa Ring, I get 4 hits off actually versus it, and now like I'm in a very solid spot. Ursaring's Toxic Orb wears off. I know I outspeed him Ursaring, that is at +1 if it's Hoot Feet. Hydro Pump is guaranteed kill from the range he's at. Gunk Shot can knock out the Virizion if I get a solid roll. Water Shuriken, I need 3 hits on Terrakion to knock it out, and Swampert can't kill me, so I can potentially like either go into Manaphy on Swampert if he wants to switch in, and like need 1 sack basically once I have the chip on Swampert to get the 3-0 win with the Greninja sweep. So if I hit the Hydro here, I'm basically guaranteed to get a 3-0 win if I also get the roll on Virizion, but it's not hard for me to get chip on Virizion anyway. So I go for the Hydro Pump here to maximize my chances of getting the first spot in the conference by going for Hydro. But unfortunately, as it's been the theme the entire season, I lose the game. Had I just played for the win, I definitely wouldn't have sacked my my Greninja here. I definitely wouldn't have risked the Hydro Pump. I would have gone into Reuniclus, sacked that thing, come back in with Gran and knock him out with the Ice Beam, in which like he was in range for an Ice Beam after the toxic damage on this turn. So yeah, unfortunate for me, but it's been the theme all season. All of my losses have been due to hacks or have had hacks in them versus me, so I'm used to it, and now like things are looking bleak. I can go into my Manaphy, just fire off a Surf, take the Facade. I know I can live it. I actually go for the Ice Beam because I know with the poison damage it will knock it out. Also covers the Virizion play. He goes to Virizion here. I decide to go hard into my Charizard. Didn't want to risk Manaphy just yet because I need to keep all my sacks. And he goes for the Swords, and so his Swords sends HP Fire and potentially Z move. Switch out because if he has the all-out pummeling or the Continental Crush, he knocks out my Zard from full. So I have to switch out. I go into my Manaphy and fire off the Hydro Vortex. I actually totally forgot that I had Energy Ball. Energy Ball was a roll to kill, I think. Totally forgot that I had it because I changed it from Substitute before the match. I get some damage off on the Swampert, but now I can't really do anything. He goes back into his Virizion as I think I fire off a Surf just to knock out the Purge. He goes for an SD as I go for the Ice Beam. He shows the Yachi Bear. I don't get a freeze, and this is gonna be GG. It is Trevi actually, because now Virizion cleans up. After taking the rocks, there's no way Zard choose any hit from Virizion, not close combat or anything. I have to Mega Evolve sadly, so can't shoot a hit, and he's going to clean up the rest of the game here. It's also a real nigga SDs on this turn so that I can get the reverse sweep with the Trick Room, but obviously that's not what he does. He takes the win and he will clinch the first seed in the conference. Kind of unfortunate, but I needed a big win this week, and or like at least a 3 or 4 this week and a big win next week to make up for differential points points, so it doesn't matter too much. I haven't revealed any sets for a potential playoff rematch, which is also hype. I'm pretty confident that I can get a win versus him in the playoffs because I have some pretty heat sets in mind that can take advantage of some of the stuff that he used to bring all season. So we see how that goes. By the looks of it, I will play Adam, aka the Bee's Knees, and his Kansas City Kakunas, that's his former team name, but his Houston Sol Rockets. He has won his division, I think. I think he has clinched it. If not, he needs to one more win or just differential to go in his favor to do so. So I probably will play him in the first round of playoffs, which means I have the hardest part to the finals versus Adam and potentially Trevor. But that's not too bad. I think I can still pull it off. I dropped to 7-4, which isn't too bad. I won 4 in a row. I clinched playoffs already. So next week we are facing Davian and his Nevada Neuverns in the match. It doesn't matter. I will just bring some fun stuff, probably some heat sets or anything, some memes. Don't really care if I go 8-4 or 7-5. Doesn't matter for playoff seeding at all. So that should be a fun one. Then we will head into playoffs. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment if you did. Tell everyone that Trevor got lucky to beat me twice, obviously. But yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed and catch you in the next video. See ya.